Hey guys, welcome back to another Monster Gens account review video. So today we're back with another episode for you guys. This is going to be episode 35. We're getting closer and closer to episode 40, guys. So I hope you're all excited. If you are, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, it's gonna get started. Now, don't mind the hair. I literally just got out of the shower, but I wanted to record a video for you guys. And a lot of you guys have been spamming to do a account review on my recent videos. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to give what you guys want to watch and see, basically. So anyways, for those guys that are new around here, basically the way we do account reviews is what I want you guys to do is, if you're interested in having your account, have a chance to for me to review it, all you have to do is go in the comments and type in your gamer tag. So for example, for me, it'd be Monster Gaming, and then your team name right below it in the same comment. Just do like Sylvia, for example, you know what I mean? And then in that same comment, if you want to go ahead and point anything out, like let's say you're a returner, you've been doing this, what you really need me to focus on, and I can like review it. If not, I can just do a full overall review for you guys. By the way, guys, if you guys want to double up your chances of me reviewing your account, you can go ahead and join my Discord, which is linked down below, and head over to the MG account review channel. And basically what you can do is just post a screenshot of your profile, just like this, for example. Looks like somebody from my team actually did it recently. So yeah, go ahead and basically get a picture and just post it here. I kid you not, I've went through a couple of comments so far, and every single one of them, they literally have left their team. They're not even in there anymore. Like this player, for example, I used to be part of Sylvia, and now I'm part of this team, and I looked it up, and the player's not even on there. I kid you not, I went through a couple of their comments, and none of them, like all the players, have left their team. So I wanted to just go ahead and go through Discord now. So ShaunChrist is actually one of them. So this player, man, he is a great racer. Let me tell you that. First of all, guys, like he really contributes like a lot. He's so good, guys. And team race, him and a few other ones that we have, the top racers are crazy. But yeah, we have attack team. Let's see what we're actually using. The double dodge area, right? Let me see. Doesn't this monster have dodge area? Yeah, okay. So double dodge area with the block res. I really like that. So you're using that other monster as your attacker, this one as your denier. You have a trade disable for anticipation, so you can actually basically use a Kira max potential, basically. So therefore, like nothing really stops him. And I do really like this because once you trade disable, there's also cold blood, so you're actually piercing through taunts and megataunt, which is really popular right now everywhere, especially on PvP. So you're basically trade disabling fully, and then getting an extra turn. On top of that, you could do more trade disabling if needed to open up the path, and then like Akira goes in and goes crazy. Now I would say if this is working well, keep it up. If not, what you can actually do is try to make Akira a little bit faster, because what you can do, instead of the shrink turn, you can do another speed, but make sure they're mutated with stamina if you can. Like if you can upgrade these speed runes with stamina, or even if you want to keep it like this, that's fine too, but make sure they're mutated with stamina. Like triple speed would be pretty cool too, if this monster is still taken in the first turn, because the speeds are really close and really high up, so there's nothing stopping it, right? This monster will actually do enough to make sure that at least he takes down the main threat, you know what I mean? Because remember, when he is stacking up the evil mark, the damage keeps increasing over time, right? So you don't really need the strength rune. Yes, it gets it gets the job done faster, but then again, like the enemy could just run like a faster, let's say Florian, and that could be bad for you, you know what I mean? So just a little tip I could throw, but if this is working well, keep it up, of course. For your defense team, you're using basically double the anticipators. This one's actually an attacker, but super strong one. I usually see a lot of players run one strength instead of two, but this player is running two. Okay. And then we have two team seed with one life. Okay, that's actually not bad. I like the relics, although I'd probably switch out the relic on this monster. See if you can get your hand on the Honor Dojo, because that relic is so good. Meter Genesis Essence there, which is really cool. Righteous Court and Star Sailors. You have 2-star sailors. That's cool. That's really sick. And then this player is also running, of course, his own sword here, which is really good. So yeah, I mean, overall, pretty good with your defense and offense. But let's take a look at your best monsters, and I'll go ahead and let you guys, or let you know, Sean, what to focus on. Honestly, you have everything maxed out. That's actually insane. That's really impressive. How are your runes looking like? 9s and 10s, okay, not bad, but it can be better, right? So that's probably another thing you can focus on now. Since you already like maxed everything out in the game in terms of ancestrals, the ones that are really good, I would say, next thing to do for you would be to work on your runes. You have a lot of like 9s and 10s I see. There are 11s and 12 too, but it can definitely go higher, I would say. So I'd probably work on that, to be honest. But overall, not bad at all. Now taking a look at your island. Let's see what we got here for your island, right? So you have all your fire monsters on one side, including the ancestral ones, which is really good. And then you're also keeping all your nature monsters together. So you have more of like your natures than fire. Okay, is that because you have more nature monsters than fire, or did you just decide to just like shorten it out? Because I see a Gery here being, you know, just there. And that can actually make you a lot of gold if you can like squeeze it somewhere. I would say I don't even know if you can actually squeeze it anywhere, because there's like no space unless you move one of the mythic habitats and like replace it with. Actually, no, there are some fire monsters here I see. So yeah, wait. I'm actually wrong about that. Yeah, we have some fire monsters here. Okay, I was completely wrong about that. So it's like this. It's a little bit like it's weird. Like it's kind of shaped a little bit weird, I would say. Like you see the way it is. Usually the way I see it is like this is a square and players just split it into like either 4 or just like 2. Like there's like a cross right here, just like a slash in the middle, or like this way. But I like that you're keeping all your food farms together. I do really like that. You guys already know, I always point that out, right? Like having it right here or on this island. These 2 islands are basically made for your food farms. You don't want to place anything else besides your food farms. Like one of them, you got to make it. I like that you have this at level 14. Next thing you got to do is just work on those runes and try to get yourself like a level 14 if possible, or like get some of the mutated runes for like 12s and 13s. That's gonna help you improve in like team wars and PvP a lot. But besides that, this I believe is all random, just random monsters, so I get that. I have an island for that too. Or I guess I used to. I'm not sure if I still do. I gotta check again. But if you got metal and light monsters, you kind of split it into 2. Not bad. And then this one's all random. So you have 2 islands that are fully randoms. I would probably actually make only 1 island full of randoms and then try to like sort other things out. Now the only thing is, like, another thing I actually want to mention is I know a lot of like reviews that I've done, I've told you guys like to make sure everything's organized and so that you can actually make a lot of gold. But when you get to a certain amount of gold, like let's say at least 20 billion, I would say 20 billion is where you're like, you know what, you don't care about the gold anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's just a number for you at that point, because especially once you like level up all these habitats and get them maxed out, you're like, it's useless to have that much gold because you can't really do anything about it, right? Like you can't really do anything with it. So right now, for you, I would say, Shaun, since you probably have like billions and billions of gold, you're fine. But if you do want to actually get more gold and help you with the gold spur challenge, then I would probably make some adjustments where one island is just full of randoms. The other one, you could probably, you know, throw in more of that same category for same element. Like for example, you could probably do more fire or more nature, whichever one you like, you know what I mean, whichever you have most of. Now these dark, I don't know if you can actually move this right here. If not, you can keep it. Actually no, this is a good placement. I like that. And then there's a 3rd one right there and 4th one too. Cool. Okay. Overall really not bad. Then you got your magic monsters here. I'd probably replace this with like a either ancestral habitat, like one of these, or you can replace it with possibly a mythic habitat. I'm not sure if it's going to fit. I don't think it's going to fit because you have that ancestral there. You probably build 2 more ancestrals and then move like Diabolus in there, or another like magic ancestral that you're going to get in the future. And then also eventually I would recommend replacing all of this with mythics, because they do make you more gold. But then again, gold, you know, at a certain point, it just doesn't matter anymore. It's like worthless. You know what I mean? But I'm sure these are all maxed out. If not, make sure to activate them. Sometimes you would want to activate it even if you're not using it, just so you can get a higher star rate, because like that's the way it works. When you first unlock these, you have to activate it a couple of times, like 3, 5 times, or up to I think 8 times or something, for you to get the 3 stars. Next player that we have is Zomz from Australia. I hope I pronounced it correctly. This player went ahead and left a comment saying, "Hey MG, I've been playing for 2 months now. I just need an overall account review and see if I need to improve on some things. I'm free to play, by the way." Wow, free to play 2 months? There's no way. I don't believe this. There's no freaking way, right? Like, What? Okay, so let's see, 15k MP at level 61. For your attack team, you're using a Dill, there is Primarion, and there's JJ. And then defense team, we're not going to judge the defense team just because there's not a third monster. But maybe I can just like try to find like a filler for you for the defense. For your attack team, it is looking pretty good though. You have your denier, attacker, and JJ is really good. And so like all these three monsters are really meta. So I do like these a lot. I would say, yeah, this actually looks really good. In terms of feedback, I'll probably make JJ a little bit faster because JJ doesn't really need all that strength drain, to be honest. Try to get his sword, because that one sword that gives you like damage boost, I think it's like, I don't know what it's called, but it gives you a damage boost and it really helps him out get his awakening a little bit faster. I would say you don't really need the life rune there. Try to swap it out with like a team speed if you can. Just provide as much speed as possible, because JJ, you know, he can be used as a denier with his awakening. That's how good he is. And he can still deal a lot of damage even with like no strength drains at all. Defense team, you're using Florian. Try to unlock those rune slots, by the way. What I recommend, guys, for this applies to everybody, not just this player, but if you're watching this and you have a lot of like locked rune slots, or you just want to remove some runes, don't do it right now. Try to do it when there's like a rune experience going on, because during rune experience, like during team race, when there's that rune experience that you see on the news, on the in-game news, try to remove it then, because it costs like 50% less, so you're paying a lot less, you know what I mean? That way you don't spend as many gems, and you get to remove and unlock a lot of runes too. I would say for your ancestrals, try to focus on this and try to focus on Akira next. You could probably actually bring up Akira here for your defense team, but then you have two attackers. Honestly, I would probably keep Maximus because he's already at 150, and Florian, and then try to get yourself another Megaton monster here, or like Ural too. If you can get your hands on Ural's still pretty good, I would say. And then what I would recommend doing is try to look on the top 100 PvP leaderboard and see what monsters they're using and what kind of like rune setup and relics they're using, because that could help you out a lot. But it looks like you have Presentis. This one's actually not bad. Not her. Presentis. Presentis is actually not bad because of the Black Resurrection. If you could get it to rank 3 or so, that monster's not bad. Repsentin is pretty good for Team Wars as well. If you could get your hands on that and like just, you know, rank it up, since you already do have it. Try to rank it up. But the remaining monsters here are basically just fillers in my opinion. You shouldn't really worry about them too much. Now, as far as the island, let's see what we're looking at here. So we got magic monsters mixed with dark. I would say you have a lot of room you can actually mess around with. Although level 61, I feel like you're still like getting more and more monsters. So I'm not gonna say too much, because I mean you have like a 141 unique monsters, right? Judging based off of that, I understand this, but later on what you want to do is you want to just like, if you're gonna do just 2 elements, just like split it into 2 and have one here, and just like, you know, just fill out the remaining gaps. But one thing I would watch out from is don't place like a bunch of decoration and like waste a lot of like space, because that could make you a lot of gold. As like, here's the way I go about it. If you can't fit a mythic habitat, or if you can't fit a ancestral habitat, and there's just like a really tiny bit of space, and you can't even like, let's say, fit these worker huts or whatever, then you can use it for decoration, for example. But those worker huts, you can also like kind of place them in these little corners if there is some space, you know, just anywhere around the island, like how you have it right now. Those temples, that's where you want to keep them as well, because you know, where else would you want to put them, you know what I mean? That's like the best spots for them. And then this is actually looking good. I'm glad you have all your things in there. It looks like you are also pretty much ahead with like your islands too. You actually removed a lot of obstacles, but I would also watch out from that, because that could be bad too. It levels you up pretty fast unless you're okay with that. The you know, events and islands will get harder for you. Just to kind of give you a heads up, you want to try to keep as low as possible. Try to stay under level 70, I would say, or even like around 61 where you are, but around 70. Try to keep it below that. I like that this is level 12. That's really good for level 61. Like, you're doing pretty good. And then you get all your like nature monsters all together. So for the most part, everything looks pretty good. I would recommend, oh, you're already building this one. I'm sure this is going to be next right here. I'll show you this. I'm sure this is actually next. But also try to get yourself this. Try to like build this up, repair it. No, actually, I think you already repaired it, because this one's being repaired too, or else it would look like this. But try to summon the actual monster in here or guardian, and then try to get it to rank like star 3 basically. Try to get a star 3 because that thing is really helpful during breeding events and also during team race. It really does help out a lot. I tried to look at this other player. His name is literally MG Mini, and he was actually part of this team, but I can't really find him. And I just tried looking for another player, Mr. Broken. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I can't find you here. And another player named Zomz. I can't find you either. Oh my god, finally, yes. After like so long of just searching, we finally found another player. Gery, hey. Thank you. I'm so glad that this player has been in this team for a bit because everybody else has been leaving their team. They've just been team hopping and I couldn't really review any accounts until now. Anyways, the comment that he went ahead and left is I had played this game for a long time when I was younger, but left it around the time when the corrupt era came out. So mythical monsters were still new at the time. I came back about a month ago or so. I found myself a good team since I wanted to participate in the recent team race. I couldn't help myself to notice how there are so many newer accounts that are doing so well. So I wanted to ask if you could review my account and tell me where I might be going wrong. And I used to watch a lot of your videos back in the day and watching my account since you were doing your free-to-play account series back then. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, let's take a look to see what route you're taking and to see if I could actually give you any like feedback, you know what I mean? But let's see what we have. So 50k MP at level 106. Let's see your attack team. So you're using Mousing, or not Mousing, actually Maximus, which is really good. Then you have Gery, and then you got Zayat. So Zayat you're using for Black Resurrection. I get that. Do you have any other monsters you can swap that out with? Not at the moment. Okay, not that I'm like seeing from here for your best monsters. Now personally what I would do is eventually when you can try to get yourself a Megaton monster, preferably a Dale, or like even Saberus would be fine too, but a Dale, if you can get your hand on that, that should be your next ancestral because you are slacking with tanks. Like I understand you have, you know, Onibol, but Onibol just has taunts. Yeah, you can get Megaton later on, but that's a status caster, remember, he doesn't start off with that. So either a Dale or even King Adam would work too. For your case, King Adam would be pretty good too, which is like a Blossom monster. You could probably pick it up with like a couple hundred gems. He comes around from Monster Week. If you could get your hands on that, that's not bad. But that could work well for your attack team. Like any of those Megaton like monsters that has the Megaton trait, that would work very well. You can probably keep Gery for a while until later on you find, you know, a better monster to place for your defense team, and then try to carry on Akira over to your attack team. So it would be Akira with maybe like Maximus and a tank here, because you can use this monster for the block res. But at the same time, this monster is more than just a block resurrection, right? He's an excellent attacker. Speaking of 2 strength runes, I wouldn't really do 2 strength runes. I would do like 2 speed and 1 strength. And then try to get yourself, you know, the sword that gives you stamina. That one's a really good sword. Even me, I'm missing on my main account, but I've been trying to get my hands on it, and it is so hard. I'm actually jealous for the players that actually do own it. Now, Onibol is actually not bad, but I would recommend it's like too tanky, you know what I mean? You don't want to make it this tanky, especially that it doesn't have the Megaton trait. The most you can do is like 1 or 2 life runes, but swap out the rest for team speed. And then Florian, try to unlock the remaining runes here, the rune slots, so you can actually make this monster a bit more useful, I would say. Now looking at this, it kind of reminded me, if you don't have which you don't actually have right now, which is weird, usually it's the other way around. Like players try to get the ancestral first, or they end up getting the ancestral and then they get its relics. But I was talking about the like Diablos. If you get yourself like your hands on Diablos, that would be pretty nice. But in terms of your best monsters, definitely work on these 3 first. Try to get them maxed out and then get yourself those other ancestrals, or like try to even get a Dale. This would be the only case, like this scenario would be the only time where I'm like, it would be okay if you can actually get yourself a Dale or Saberus instead of focusing on maxing these guys out. Because usually the way I give feedback is like, try to max those monsters out that you have already and then get yourself other ancestrals. But for your case, it's really important to get yourself a Megaton monster in your team, especially with the Megaton trait. Now looking at your other monsters, you can continue working on Able as your, you know, tank like taunt monster. Like that's not a bad idea. What does this guy have again? Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of that. Let's take a look. Schoolbug's not bad. This one's actually a pretty decent supporter. if you want to go ahead and work on him and try to get him maxed out. Rapsentine is pretty excellent for Team Wars, works very well against Gardenian to easily like eliminate them whenever he's like in a restriction. So I would say Rapsentine is another pretty good option for like Team Wars. Looking at your monsters here for your island, for your main island, looks like you have earth monsters mixed with metal, so it's just like 2 elements together. But then I'm also seeing a bunch of like dark monsters as well, like Dark Soul shouldn't be there. Auros, actually no, Auros is an earth monster, that's okay, that gets a pass. But if I'm not mistaken, Dark Soul is just dark, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then you have Ultra Blood, which is magic. Actually, yeah, magic and metal. So metal, that counts. Yeah, it's just Dark Soul. That's kind of like, it shouldn't be there, but it's whatever. This like light monster shouldn't be there either. You're also taking up space with these temples. Try to move these to this. Yeah, like you have this island right here. Try to move them right here with your worker huts. Those are like the little spots you want to take advantage of. You have your nature monsters here. Perfect. So this is really good, you know, that's really good. You have your light monsters, I assume here. There's more that's going to load in. So yeah, that's really good. But you know, these two, they gotta go, man. They definitely do. Yeah, they're like all like across, like they're spread out basically is what I'm seeing. Yeah, there's another one right here, and there's 3 right here. So yeah, you want to keep all of your food farms in one island. You can either make this your main island for food farms, or you can do it right here. I personally would recommend here, since you already have everything going well for you and for the water category here. So make this your like food farm island, and then like take these like legendary habitats and move them somewhere else, like right here for now, or like move them to the monster vault. You know what I mean? Speaking of monster vault, that's another thing. Try to get yourself those keys so you can unlock more space there for yourself. And then yeah, your magic monsters are looking good. Level 10, so this needs to improve as well. Level 10, that needs to go up. Try to get it to like 11 or 12 possibly if you can. I know that later on it gets like more expensive, you have to spend more gems, and a lot of players don't want to do that, so that's okay. But try to get it to at least like level 11 or 10. It shouldn't be that much, because I personally have that on my account, you know what I mean, on my MG account. These 3 are looking good. Try to get this to 3 stars if you haven't already, and try to get this to 3 stars, and then work your way on that one too. It's like with this game, you just never end. There's like so much to do, you know what I mean? Now this is looking okay. Yeah, you can keep this here, but why are you wasting some gold here? Try to like move this and squeeze it into one of those islands where, you know, he belongs in, you know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, he's like magic category with another element. So try to like move it over there so he can make more gold using the gold boost, you know what I mean? Provide like benefiting from the gold boost. Like for example, right here, this shouldn't be here. Try to like move those monsters into monster vault and put the habitat in storage or something. You don't even have to sell it, just put it in your storage. But those little temples are waste of space around the islands. I would recommend putting them in the little mini spots right there. Like you have, let me see, this food farm can go somewhere else, and you can place like 1 or 2 more in there. You can probably place like 2 more right here if you get rid of this. You get my point, right? But overall, not bad, you know what I mean? Pretty good, I would say. But there are a lot of improvements, and you know, don't take it to heart. That's just me like providing feedback, and that it also applies to everybody else that I've applied, like that I've reviewed so far throughout like the whole series. That's gonna wrap it up for today's monster review or account review. I've done so many monster reviews that it's like kind of like my brain is just kind of like set up, and I automatically just say monster review, but account review. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below. And again, remember, comment down below your team name, profile name, and if you want to add any comments to that, go ahead and do that. But that's gonna be pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks for watching.